What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M podcast. My name is MP.
SB Stefan.
And we still out here in Calgary, Alberta. I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving.
It's time to move, man.
Yeah, it's time to move out here, man, because we're doing some big things in the Calgary scene. It's soon to be BC, slowly but surely. But today, man, I'm pumped to have this guest. It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
We've been following each other for a minute.
Yes,
We've
sir.
been following your journey for a hot minute as well.
And thank you guys. Thank you so much.
It's gonna be a crazy 2024 for you, huh?
Yep.
I hope so. I really hope so.
You just started.
Right, exactly. It's going to be a crazy journey. So let's get this thing popping off here. We're going to give this amazing guest an intro. We got Jhonson, the Don Garzon. Jhonson's not just any regular combat sport athlete. He's a master in the ring. He's currently ranked number 1 in Muay Thai in his division in Canada. And now he's looking to knock it out in the boxing scene. With 2 pro fights under his belt, he's really looking to make a statement and take over. And those 2 pro fights won them with flying colors, baby.
Hell
Welcome,
yeah.
Jhonson, the Don Garzon.
Welcome, man.
First of all, thank you guys so much for having me and giving me the platform to talk a little bit and let me connect with some people. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh,
man.
100%. Dude, it's a blessing, bro. Like,
That's why we do this, bro. We just want to talk. That's it.
Exactly,
It's a
man.
platform, but we just want to shoot
Absolutely.
the shit.
Right? And you're taking over, bro. Muay Thai,
Let's go.
striking, whatever.
Whatever, man.
Whatever.
Well, if it's fighting, bro, he's doing it.
Absolutely.
Let's get this thing popping off, man. But before we even start this, dude, we were talking about this earlier. We're like, the Don. How did you get that name, man?
The Dawn.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I was like 16. I always had to fight bigger, older people. Like my first 2 fights, I lied about my age. I was fighting with this guy I knew. He was training at the same gym. He's a little bit older. He was like in his 20s. I was 16, and we were just trying to get ring time, trying to get experience. So he always said, "Oh man, it's so gangster how you step up to these big guys."
Yeah.
Because he just knew that's what we would do, right? We go and we would do that, and then it just kind of stuck, right? Because like Johnson's a little long to say, so Don is just smaller.
Dawn.
Dude, I'm like, it flows though, you know? That's the thing I love.
It's like, just like a gangster, bro.
Thank you,
Dawn.
Yeah, right. Cause like, bro, it's just imagine
It
this
flows,
on the
it
big
flows.
stage, you know, like Bruce Buffer, Jhonson, the Don. Right, it flows off your
that's
tongue.
what
I'm like,
saying.
damn, this is
It's
sick.
catchy. That's why every time we when we were doing the flow, we don't call you Johnson. We're like, man, Johnson the Down. That's how we call you every time.
Right?
That's how I'm saying it, dude.
It's like an ad lib. It's like a rap.
Yeah, literally, bro.
Johnson
Sick,
the
man.
Down, bro.
So sick. So let's get into it, man. Like, combat sports, you've ventured off into a lot of disciplines, killed it in a lot of disciplines.
Thank you.
What got you started into combat sports?
Well, like I said, what attracted me to combat sports was just the culture. Like I was immigrated from Colombia when I was 11. I had no English, so my parents wanted to put me in something that I could like make friends and just do for a long time. And kickboxing is the cheapest thing around. So, you know, I was able to spend all day there and make friends and do everything like that. So
How supportive were your parents with like your whole fighting career?
not very,
Smiles.
no. No, they
Typical.
They liked the training, they liked the discipline, everything like that. But when I told my mom I was like gonna be fighting full time and this is what I want to do with my life, like she cried, man. Like yeah. So, but you know, now it's going better, so she's just a little bit more understanding for sure.
So you started with boxing / kickboxing.
Yeah, I started with Muay Thai. Yeah.
Oh, Muay Thai. Okay, and that's here in Calgary already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Calgary, yeah.
Talk about that. Was that something that you feel you just got forced into, or were you like that's what something that you really loved to do and what you wanted to continue to do?
Yeah, so the competition aspect, maybe at the time I would have felt like I was forced into it because I was training for a long time.
Okay.
I started training at 11 and I didn't fight until I was 16.
Oh.
So it was always like I wanted to test myself. I wanted to do that, and I think the guys at the gym were happy to facilitate that. But I don't think it was something I was pushed into. I think I kind of wanted to do that.
Dude, as a kid, bro, like
I know,
wanting to fight.
That's why I asked that question. Because as
Yeah.
a kid, I'm like most kids they really just want to play games, video games, and all that. But that's valid, man.
Well, I think the novelty is what gets these young athletes, right? Because when you have your first couple fights, you don't really know right? It's all so much adrenaline. It's like a blur. Where it's like that. That's an experience in and of itself, you know.
Yeah, and just taking a step back, when did you move to Canada?
It was 2010, something like that.
Oh, 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
And you didn't speak a drop of English.
I lived in New York for like 18 months.
Oh,
so
nice.
I had like a little bit of English, but yeah, not really.
Just curious, why Canada?
Well, my dad moved here to become a plumber, yeah.
So you got into Muay Thai boxing. You had when did you have your first amateur fight? Was it 16?
16, yeah.
How was that, man? Do you remember it?
It was fun. It was actually in Airdrie at Bellegarde's, and I fought this tall, skinny guy, and we fought at 115, and he was almost 6 foot tall. He was huge. He was just like, yeah. His name's Deshaun Williams. It'd be funny if he's watching this. But yeah, when we fought, he was super tall, super skinny. But then I would beat him with a decision. I think he just got tired.
And that was just strictly Muay Thai, right?
That was Muay Thai. Yeah.
How is Muay Thai rules in the amateurs? Is it like obviously there's headgear, there's shin guards?
Yeah. So the rules always on the gear depends where you go. Like somewhere in the States, they fight with elbow pads, no shin pads, no helmet, and then those are pro fights because in some states you can't take off the elbow pad, and then there's amateur tournaments like IFMA. There's like big world tournaments, but they're headgear with a chest guard. So everywhere you go has slightly different rules, but that fight was shin pads and helmet.
And so, because I know in Canada, like. Is people say Muay Thai is bad? Like Muay Thai competitions are not like common or they're like banned. Is that true? Because like you're not allowed to have elbows. Yeah. It's not real. It's like kickboxing. It's just kickboxing bouts at this point, isn't it?
So certain provinces it's illegal to have professional Muay Thai. But this is kind of like this side of the game hasn't caught up with the fans yet. Like they're not super in the loop of that, like how commissions work. The really confusing part to me is MMA is legal.
Yeah.
Pro MMA is legal. You can elbow the guy in MMA. Oh, excuse me. You can kick the guy in the face, spinning elbow, everything. And then, but if you have it Muay Thai rules, Muay Thai round, it then becomes a no man's land, kind of no go.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is really weird.
Yeah, right. Because MMA, you're allowed to elbow and all that stuff.
You can do Muay Thai and MMA, but when it's Muay Thai, you can't.
So what's happening now is Muay Thai World Cup that was on the native reserve. So rules there are a little bit different. Yeah, they make their own commissions and they make their own rules. Yeah,
that's where the fight was this weekend.
Grey Eagle, right? Or
like Seven Chiefs, maybe.
Oh, Seven Chiefs.
It might have been Seven Chiefs. I don't know.
Yeah, because they were doing everything, knees, elbows, all of that. I'm like, I was watching the clips on Jake's Instagram, the Muay Thai World Cup Instagram. I'm like, damn.
This guy even went. He just left the ring and stood on the table after.
And how crazy is that Jake Peacock? How insane is he of a fighter?
Really good.
He's very special. He's very, very special.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
bro. Literally against all odds. Because like I'm sure like leading up to it or like when he just first started out, people would. I'm assuming people might have doubted him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just appearances alone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's this guy. He's dealing with this, and here's this other guy who comes in shape, comes ready. Abdul Wafar, my former training partner. He's no slouch either, right? He beat the number one guy. He ragdolled him, and then he meets Jake. But Jake is so fast. He's so fast. He's so quick.
Dude, and with those smaller gloves too, bro. No joke, man. No joke, right? So you went from Muay Thai into boxing. The Muay Thai was one of your first disciplines, and you moved into boxing. Why the transition?
I mean, in my weight class, the Muay Thai scene's kind of stalled a little bit after I came number one. It's harder and harder to find fights. So boxing just seemed like another mountain to climb. And that's where we're at.
We were talking about this earlier. Like, you need to have good hands.
You need to have good hands.
It doesn't matter if you're in like
any type of fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're in MMA, kickboxing, or whatever.
Yeah.
All the setups
jab
come from that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
from the
jab, right?
Absolutely.
Jab.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you when you first got into box or like really transitioned into it? Did you have a little bit of a struggle with like the distance aspect to it?
Yeah, the distance is different. You can punch the guy really, really in close, so you have to not worry about just, dodging jabs and having good head movement, but also, you get guys that are really good at fighting in the pocket. They can hit you chest to chest, right? So it's definitely more active than Muay Thai, but you train for it, and then you just adapt.
Talk about the cardio aspect, because I'm always curious. I've always just done boxing, and it always kills me every time I spar. But in terms of like the cardio aspect of Muay Thai and boxing, talk about the difference.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Muay Thai is harder on your cardio, especially when I was living in Thailand. The way they train, they don't even do very specific training methods. They just go do 100 kicks as fast as you can, go, and then you have to really go. So when you're training like that, it's exhausting, man.
Just 100 kicks.
Dude, I agree, man. My old Muay Thai coach, Adrian Shiad, shout out Adrian. At the end of every class,
that guy's sick, by the way.
He's sick, eh?
He's sick.
Yeah, he's our boy, man. So at the end of every class, what he would make us do, 50 kicks each side.
Oh yeah,
buddy, and like kicks
it is tiring
compared to like just jabbing. Takes a lot.
It's way heavier, man. Your legs are way heavier.
You're huffing and puffing, you're dying, bro. It's crazy.
You're like 30 kicks in,
and your calves start cramping. Dude, going back into like the difference in styles from like Muay Thai and boxing, the one thing that I struggled with was like rolling, because like in Muay Thai, like the coach would always say, like, if you roll, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get a knee in the face. Right. So when I went into boxing full time, I never rolled. It was always just a slip, and they're like, "Why aren't you rolling?" I'm like,
"I'm about to get a knee." Oh yeah, you can't.
Yeah, right, no one's gonna knee you. So then, as soon as I started doing that, I'm like, "Whoa, this is weird." I guess it's just like the years of conditioning, how to unlearn it.
Yeah,
that's the hard part. But the best way to combat that is just reps, just getting the reps in, right? Yeah. What was there anything in particular that you kind of like struggled with when moving into boxing? Or that surprised you when you started really competing in it?
Yeah, what surprised me definitely in my second fight was how slippery somebody can be. The second guy I fought a Venezuelan guy. He was quite good. 6 rounds, I finished him in the second round. But even, within exchanges, boom, boxers are definitely more slippery, 100%, when you're close to them,
I think it's just because of the range, too, and you can... It's easier to be slippery with just 2 hands rather than now you got to worry about your feet, your legs, your elbow, and all that. But now that you mentioned that experience in Colombia, you had your first 2 pro fights with no amateur boxing record.
Yeah, no.
You went straight to the pros, man, and that's a big step. That's a Don move. That's a Jhonson Don move, bro.
There it is. Yeah. Living up to your name.
Man, talk about that experience going back home to Colombia. And having your first 2 boxing pro fights.
So, going back home meant so much to me. Where I had an uncle come and see me, and I hadn't seen this uncle in like 8 years, and this guy is my dad's brother. He like raised me a little bit when I was a little boy. So, I mean, fighting on my debut fighting in front of him, I knew I couldn't lose. I knew if I had to lose every teeth in my mouth, I was going to win that fight, right? So... It was good. That one I ended in the first round. I could have maybe boxed more. I could have maybe used my jab a little bit more, but we got him out of there quick. And then building on the momentum for the second fight, I knew that I didn't take damage in that first fight for a reason. So that second fight, just go hard. Just go hard.
Bro, you saw the clip right now from the first fight?
You can watch the fight in you can watch the whole fight in like 2 minutes. So. It's that quick anyway.
Yeah, right? How was it fighting with like smaller gloves?
It was awesome. I mean, they fight on the same gloves that Muay Thai guys do, the pro guys. I fought pro Thai boxing. So the small gloves were not a big deal. But fighting with the shoes is definitely interesting.
Yeah. Well, for you, I guess, yeah.
You can't like just... dash, and obviously you can't jump. It's boxing.
I mean, you
Superman punch and Garzon style.
You knew I did it. But.
So you fought in front of some family out in Colombia, eh?
Yeah.
That
was
been such a crazy feeling, dude.
And then taking the picture with the flag. That's memories for sure.
Just hometown fighting.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to Colombia before that?
I went with my girlfriend actually, like 2 years ago, 2-3 years, yeah.
Oh, nice! But then this trip was just a different experience because you're actually fighting.
Yeah. It was a totally different tone as well to the trip. Yeah.
So how like with fighters when they travel to like different places, when you go on a plane, you retain water, right? We hear that a lot from different boxers.
Yeah.
Did you experience any weird stuff like that when you're on the plane, coming off the plane, weighing in and all that?
No, it definitely is a thing that you retain water off the plane. You just you get like all tired and droggy, but I was fairly close to the fight weight, so it wasn't a big deal.
Nice.
You know.
Who cornered you?
Mike Manuel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stitch man.
Are you planning on fighting that again soon, or like where do you want to like take it next in pro boxing?
I don't really know where the next fight will be in pro boxing. I would love to fight in Canada. I would love to fight in Calgary. There's some rumors about Olympus holding a show next year, so I would love to do that. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that, because that's the one thing, we started this podcast to actually raise awareness on how boxing scene in Canada, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a little bit not on the good side, although it's evolving.
I think it's evolving a lot.
Yeah, especially with pro boxing right now. Obviously, everything's in Quebec and on the east side, but one thing is we want to do is raise awareness and actually get that exposure here in the Western Canada scene. Yeah. Talk about what other things us or you pro boxers that you guys can do, so you don't have to go to, although it's still nice to go to Colombia, go to Mexico. We can just do it all in-house, 30-minute drive, you get your fight. Talk about what else we can do here to actually get to that.
I mean, it's not really up to the fans. It's mostly the commissions. Like if I talk to, Angelo or somebody holding the promotion, they're gonna tell me, it's like over 10 grand.
Yeah.
To hold a fight just as is, no help, just for the papers and stuff like that. And then people cancel last minute, or they don't buy tickets, or sponsors pull out last second. I mean, yeah, it's just a difficult operation to run, But that's why I think for people, it's important that they support the amateur shows, because the amateur shows,
that's where it starts.
That's where it starts,
Yeah.
and those guys are the guys that are passionate, And they're going to be the pros in like 2-3 years, so you support them now, they have an easier time to make it to pro. Yeah.
I love that. And that just kind of cosigns with everyone's answer. It's just, we got to start putting on, well, although Olympus already are doing it, like putting on just these amateur shows where you put these amateur boxers to have like a pro experience, the spotlight, the ring and all that. So I think that's a good idea. We just got to keep doing that show, raise their career, raise their amateur career, and then once they're ready for pro, everyone will know, right?
Yeah,
so
everyone will know.
Yeah, I agree. It ultimately comes down to getting more eyes
exactly
on the boxing scene in Western Canada, right? Because like we say all the time, there's a lot of talent. Tons of talent.
Hell,
bro, one right here, the Don, man. Like this guy.
Thank you, boy.
Ready to kill
love
it,
saying
bro. Like,
Man, you guys hype me up so much.
no, it's facts though. Like, we hype you up, but bro, if you watch your fights, dog,
I mean,
bro, he lets his hands do the talking, bro. Right?
he's John the Don, man.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro. So looking back through like your whole career in fighting, was there any like fights that really stood out to you where you really had to dig deep?
Yeah, there's one fight on Muay Thai World Cup actually, versus a guy named Luis Zepeda from Toronto. He was a hard fight, really hard fight. I think I messed up both of my shins, my right forearm, like really bad. I beat him, fortunately, but that was one of those moments where you're taking damage and you're breathing heavy and you're like, what the like, this guy's made out of steel, man.
Right. In that fight, that went the distance. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That was 5 rounds. Yeah.
Holy small, 5 rounds. How long were the rounds? Like 3 minutes?
That I think it was 2 minutes. That one.
2 minutes. That round.
And we hit each other with everything: elbows, spinning back fists. I tried to kick him in the face a bunch of times.
and let me ask you this, man, because like, for the most part, from the fights I've watched, you're always fighting like taller dudes.
Yeah.
Bro, taller dude, and it's like for a smaller person, man, like you hang with all of them, bro. Like, what's your secret, man? What's the secret sauce that you can share?
I'll share this. You have to be able to feint, and then have the follow through. And when you make somebody flinch, and then like have the follow through to hit them once they're flinched. But it becomes harder. The more you level up in the game, and the harder you fight guys, they just have that second sense where you feint them, and then they know not to react, or they know when to react, or how to react. you're fighting another guy's instincts basically, you know. So it's very hard. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, especially when you get like you said, higher level. As soon as you juke them once and they read that, you can't juke them again. You gotta really set it up, right? Like be serious with the jab, like jab with intention and all that stuff, right?
Or connect with the jab.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Give him something to actually worry about. Yeah.
That's true. Because as a beginner, man, like every time I feint on someone and they bite on it, I'm like, oh. I should have acted on that, right? I should have done something. I do it again, and they're like, they don't act. It's like, oh, it's done. Yeah, right? You get so like, you get degraded, like, oh damn, man, and then that's when I get caught, you know.
Yeah, but I actually love what he said. Being a smaller guy, if you're fighting a taller guy, just feints and then use that reaction. Because number one guy I really love watching fight is Manny Pacquiao. He does his feints. Crazy, and then when you react, that's when he gets that second attack. So
and Manny, like he feints, you flinch, and then he hits you with 8 punches.
Yeah, exactly. So if you flinch, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah, you gotta be on your defense, man.
Yeah, and since we're talking about fighting style, man, there's one thing you do really good: switch hitting.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
I love that.
That's that Muay Thai background there.
Switch hitting is now. It's like in style now. It's fashionable now. Everybody wants to do it, and they're doing it.
Crawford now.
When I started training, it was considered bad form, bad technique. Like, oh, you don't do that. You do like this, and then you start leveling up. You start seeing the guys also warm up in the back room, and you're like, man, this guy is using a switch hook.
Yeah.
This guy steps over and jabs. Like, you guys lied to me.
But they're good. They're pros now.
The good guys are using the sauce, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing about me being smaller. When I switch, I'm like moving my head or putting my arm in the way, and I'm able to get underneath without having to really overextend. I can just step over or roll over.
Have you always been training this style, like with switch hitting, or is this something that you introduced recently into your arsenal?
I had always had like 1 or 2 moves from the switch stance, but really it was George Habib that is fine-tuning this. And he's the one that really gave me a lot more tools to that and taught me more like the philosophy. When you step over, okay, don't just step over because of this. And then he's got 2 options to go. Okay, cut him off like this. It was all George Habib.
Damn, shout out George Habib, man.
George
just
Habib.
creating a killer over here, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's move on into, like, obviously we talk about a lot of technical stuff in boxing, martial arts, Muay Thai. But let's talk about the lessons, being a fighter. Pretty much you've done every type of fighting there is. What was one of the lessons that really stuck to you throughout that process of learning?
Having a really tough skin, a really thick skin, cornering teammates and watching them win and lose and watching how people treat them. And, when they win, everybody shakes their hands. When they lose, maybe it's just you in the back with them and stuff like that. I mean, I'm grateful for all those lessons. I mean, seeing those things made me tough,
Love it, man. Especially... Like, I like how you say that, because winning, obviously, a lot of people are always there for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to say losing is good, but there's also a lot of things that you'll see when you lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll see if there's someone that's going to be, like, you'll see who the true homies are.
Yeah.
So, I love it. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. You definitely know when someone's, just saying something just to be nice, and when they're genuinely, like...
you can tell.
Yeah, because people forget when you lose in this sport, you lose like a little bit of yourself. This is hard. You don't just lose a game, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because number one, you trained a hard ass time. Like those fight camps are never easy, right? And you invest a lot of time, a lot of money into it, right? Yeah. I agree. You do lose a little bit about yourself. Since we're on this topic, like, how do you bounce back from a loss?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. I mean, some people like to jump straight back. I think the best approach after handling a loss is just step back completely. Evaluate the loss. How did you lose? Was it devastating? Was it a cardio thing? Was it a technique thing? Was it something else entirely? You may be distracted that day. But yeah, I think you have to really be able to hyperanalyze yourself.
That's important, bro. Important to really just take it, especially if you have the film of it.
Mm-hmm.
Take a step back, watch it. see what you did wrong. Is there any mistakes? Right, and just really analyze and just fix it.
Yeah. And guys overcomplicate it too. I mean, you're watching the film and you get hit with the jab, and it's just like, you saw that. Just, what's the answer? Move faster, bro. That's and it sounds very simple, but that's what the coach is gonna tell you.
That's
it's
it.
You just gotta bend your knee faster. Boom.
Yeah.
Drop your shoulder faster.
I love how you say that, because that's also important. People overcomplicate things. That's it. It could be as simple as just dip to the right or dip to the left. But
with boxing, who's one of your inspirations? Like, who do you look up to boxing wise? We'll start off with like pro, and we'll start with the pros.
Actually, Donaire, I really look up to him because he's lost to Inoue and some other fights, but his longevity, he's been fighting since like 2005, 2006. His longevity in the game, and the fact that his wife is his main coach.
Yeah.
Filipino Flash.
So I'm
Rachel.
like, this guy to be on this level this long, he's impressive. I like his fight with Chocolatito too.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
that was real good. No, Nonito is definitely he's a future Hall of Famer.
I sure hope so. He deserves that.
4-division world champion.
Inoue I love too. He's the only guy I'm not trying to see right now.
Anyone else can get it, but Inoue, we'll wait.
To stay at 122.
He's crazy, man. He's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the sky's the limit for that guy. What do you think about people saying though that he needs to fight a bigger guy in like Tank and all those guys at this point?
So here's the thing about fight fans. We all want to see more experiments.
Yeah.
We want to see if this guy can do it, because we see other guys doing it.
Yeah.
You see Terrence Crawford go up, Canelo go up. So you're like, oh, Inoue can do it. He can go up. I would like to see it. I think he's going to have trouble from like 126 to 132 because those guys just get tall at that point,
I was just going to say, because when he fought Fulton, although he, pretty easily won, Fulton was obviously the bigger guy, and that's just 122. So 120, he's still got to get to 126, and now people are talking Tank at 135. Like, hold on,
Tank is too big.
He was already small at 122, so we got to see. But he's going for the fourth belt.
Yeah,
four belts. I
think he probably unifies it too.
Oh,
I think so too. I
love Marlon, bro. He's from the Philippines, but
that's our countryman. But man, I don't know if you can take. I don't think you can take Inoue,
that's
bro.
Inoue, bro. So
that's Inoue.
That's a tough fight, bro. That's
tough.
That's happening January, right?
No, December.
Oh yeah, that's December 26th, Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, yeah.
It's tough for both of them. I mean, 12 rounds for a world title fight. It's it's a lot. It's
not gonna be 12 rounds, but
it's unlikely.
Yeah.
But who knows, right?
Yeah.
Boxing.
That's true. That's boxing. And how about Muay Thai? Like, who did you look up to?
There's a lot of good local guys actually that I was looking up to. That Mean Hakeem was a local guy at the time. He started with Muay Thai. There's a lot of good. Even Jake's been training for a long time actually. I think he was Lion Fight champion in like 2018 or something like that. But I like, there's this Thai guy named Lordzilla. I don't know if you know him.
Lordzilla.
They call him the eel.
The eel?
The eel. And he's just like leans back and Super Matrix. I love that.
That's so sick. Man, because the one thing that got me into kickboxing and Muay Thai was Bokao.
Oh yeah, everyone knows Bokao.
Oh, did you see the Sunshine Bokao bare knuckle?
Yeah, I didn't think they were actually gonna like fight bare knuckle, but they really did.
Yeah, it's like Muay Thai rules and everything. I was like,
I hope they make good money for that.
100%. But
I hope they make good money.
I don't know how I felt about that fight. I felt like it was like sparring. They didn't really go all out,
No.
Like you can see that they held back.
But it's weird, right? Because they're holding back, but it's bare knuckles, so it's still gotta hurt.
Oh, it's gotta stay bare knuckle, 100%, bro. Because those guys can punch, especially Bokao.
I don't like.
But just even those grazes,
I don't like seeing the pictures after the fight, man. It's so gross,
bro.
It's brutal on the fighters.
Bro.
That's legal, man. But
I was at a podcast last week, and we were talking about this too, the bare knuckle thing, and for you say you don't like it, right? It's very brutal on the fighters.
A little too much.
But what if I told you that guys could have shorter careers and make more money, but then have less brain damage at the end
By doing bare knuckles?
by doing bare knuckle.
How though?
Because the blood aspect of it is what people really want to tune in for. And I think any sponsor sells if it's like a bloody, two fighters bloody and a crowd of roaring fans. I think anything sells. So I think the viewership aspect of it would attract numbers. I mean, BKFC's new, like 3 years or something.
Oh yeah.
And look how much money they had already. Like
That's actually a good point. Maybe that's why I just don't like seeing, because the blood aspect as well.
Yeah, it's
like Mortal Kombat, man.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, it's brutal on the fighters. I don't know if you guys saw the story of the guy that died, the heavyweight that died in bare knuckle.
Damn.
Yeah, that happened 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. And I was like, well, if BKFC survives that,
They can do anything.
they can do anything, and they did. So
And that was after a fight.
yeah. I think it was 3 days after the fight. So super sad, man. Super sad.
That's super sad. I mean, not to say it doesn't happen in like these other sport, but it does happen. I want to get your take though on slap boxing, slap fighting, slap
CTE.
boxing. How about this? How about that?
Yeah.
That's
so
bare. That's knuckle. That's all your hands too. So
slap, power slap. I think
power
it's
slap,
yeah.
slap boxing, slap whatever.
is literally the only thing I wouldn't do. I mean, like even I have
No
standards.
defense, bro. You can't. No defense.
I mean, that's like trading cash for brain cells over the table.
Oh, every
That's
time.
insane to me. I think I watched the heavyweight power slap champion on YouTube with my girlfriend.
Entertaining, but
It's so entertaining, but you feel bad for supporting it
Oh, you
after,
can
you
tell.
know?
Yeah.
No, big time. Because like the thing that makes me laugh is like as soon as they knock the dude out, they're like, yeah. It's like, what?
Undisputed.
There's no skill. You just slap them. You're big as hell. You know?
No, but there's certain rules though. You can't lift your feet can't lift off the ground. But there's certain rules too. But
No,
I think it's dumb.
That's
There's no you can't play. There's no defense, right? And what kills me is people actually like there's like they go to training camp for it, and you just see them in the background. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right? Makes no sense, bro. No sense.
You think those guys got like their own personal trainers and
That's because I watched I watched like an event. I'm guilty.
I'm guilty too.
They explain that it's literally like a Showtime 24/7 HBO 24/7 for it, man. There's like last fight that I had. I'm like, man, what last fight? You just slapped each other, bro. Yeah, they do train for it. They like lift weights and all that. I'm like, what? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes it's. But I mean, it shows kind of like now we're in the age of the internet, right? There's
Anything,
desperate people to make some money.
Yeah.
And what makes me sad is seeing MMA guys and boxing guys fall into like power slap or weird promotions and stuff like that.
Not
you know?
yet, but that'll
You know?
be sad.
Yeah, since we're talking about that, man, I want to get your take on, because we asked George about his take on this, but your take on influencer boxing. Big thing that was happening this whole year actually. What do you think of it, man? Do you think it's a good thing for boxing? Is it kind of silly? What are your thoughts?
I think if anybody in the influencer boxing would want to box me, that'd be fun.
So he's like,
I'm gonna take it. I'll give up 10 pounds for that one.
Why not, right? Get
Why
the bag
not?
and run.
hey,
Get
bring
the
me
bag
to that card. I'll fight too.
No, but I think it's not a bad thing if it gets people, if it gets like the kids on their iPads thinking about boxing or thinking about joining a boxing gym. I think it's not that bad.
It brings it's a new view to the sport, man. Just more exposure.
Yeah, me personally, do I like the Pauls? Not too much. Logan Paul, not too much. Jake Paul is more doing it right. He's more like fighting actual fighters, and
He's taking it serious.
I think he's a
trying to
boxer
build up
now,
his
man.
record.
He's a real boxer.
he would be classified as a real boxer. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean he's fought boxers, obviously mostly MMA guys, but people are saying, oh you fought our MMA guys. I'm like, but Jake Paul doesn't even have any. like martial arts or any background. So that's still pretty impressive, man.
It is impressive, yeah.
Yeah, and since we're still talking about influencer boxing, I'm gonna talk about a style of fighting. Okay, so there was the last fight. It was KSI against it was Tommy Fury. Yeah, Tommy Fury. Yeah. Did you watch that fight?
I did not know.
Okay, so there's the style of fighting. He's like very karate style. His hands are down. There's the one guy that Pitbull Cruz fought. Forgot the guy. He was a wild card as well. Santiago something. Yeah, they fight with their hands down.
Oh, like karate style.
Karate
like
style in boxing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, the game plan is very simple, right? Tag the guy, lean back, move your feet. Tag the guy, lean back, move your feet. It's a good style. You can definitely win fights. You can definitely utilize that style also and then switch to more pressure, you know. But yeah, it's just a style. I mean, you get caught, you get caught. You know, you get caught.
You change your style, baby.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Because every time I watch those kind of fighters, I get nervous. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it during the Pitbull Cruz fight. Did you see that one? It was a few months back, but the dude he was taking heavy overhands.
He was getting hit. So.
Oh, big time. I'm like, bro, this is making me nervous. With your heavy, especially when doing fight camp, you have a crazy schedule. You have your personal life. You have all that stuff. You have coaching. How do you balance everything?
But there kind of is no balance for that short little while. 6 weeks before the fight, you just try to cram as much training as you can. Try to close your holes where you can without also getting injured, and then without not missing too much work. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I guess you just gotta just do it, because if it's important to you, you'll find time to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like one of those kind of things, right? And another thing with it's a hot take with, especially in Muay Thai. Muay Thai, they're like, there's no strength and conditioning. If you want to get stronger, you kick 100 times, right?
I know that quest.
Right? Do you do a lot of strength and conditioning in your fight camps?
I mean, like 2-3 days out of the week. Nice. I think. I mean, all the really good Thais are lifting weights. I mean, they all got like university taught personal trainers. Like they all got nutritionists. They all got boxing coaches now. Yeah. They're all modern, high performance athletes now. But yeah, like the fight culture in general, like values more. How's your conditioning on the bag, on the spar, versus how good do you look with your shirt off, right? So I think there's a balance to both. There's a balance.
That's true. No, I agree, man. Because we were talking with the strength and conditioning coach, and man, like strength and conditioning, it's all about exactly how it sounds. Your cardio, how strong you are. Can you like throw a cross and really put someone out?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Does the looks come with it? Of course. But like the main thing is just cardio and your strength. And if you don't have that together, buddy, you're in for a short night. Imagine, right?
But I think what like old school boxers and kickboxers talk about is that getting used to that drowning feeling, because like that's gonna on set, regardless whether you're ripped or not, you're gonna feel that gravity increase when you're actually in there. So digging
deep. That's what it said. Digging deep.
Yeah. And there's guys that are so good at fighting, they can do that off the couch. Like I know a lot of Thai boxers, a lot of boxers, they smoke, they drink, and they're like, man, this guy cannot run 2-3 kilometers, but if you put him in front of somebody, he's gonna really throw hands at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a balance to everything, because you also, that's not a long career either. If you're that guy. So
smoking, and the next day you're fighting. Speaking of Thai, like just training in Thailand, like how was it in Thailand?
It's amazing. I love it. I think everybody, if you have the opportunity, you should go. If you have the privilege and the opportunity and the funds, it's cheap. You should go.
100%. Because like when you, I know with like some gyms out there, when you travel to like Thailand, you can train and stay at the gym. Like a hotel style.
I heard they have like a gym in like hotels.
Yeah, that's kind of like the setup I had. I was staying in a dorm, so you had like a room, and they fed you twice a day, and then you trained twice a day, and the time you weren't training was just your free time. You just do whatever you want, and yeah, that's
crazy. Obviously that's where Muay Thai came from. Talk about the difference, or like how different it is. Like the Muay Thai in Thailand than here in Western Canada.
Oh, it's very different. Like the outlook on it, I mean, obviously here it's a hobby. It's like a pastime. It's something, you know, like a passion project people are passionate about. But in Thailand, it's like their life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you see kids, you know, with their Muay Thai shorts doing math homework on the mats. You know what I mean? And then, boom, throw the books to the side and get the training. And then they go do some errand or something, you know? Like, it's their way of life there. It's, and they have a lot of respect for it, too. Like, even the Thais, like, if you're a foreigner, you get in a taxi, they know, oh, you're a Muay Thai boxer. They'll pat you on the back, and they like that, right? It's they respect fighters there. Yeah
it's huge. It's huge out there. Like, it's kind of like in Mexico, because in Mexico with a lot of, well, it's not as big, but like in Mexico, a lot of people, like a lot of the kids, some of them are just like, you have to fight to pay for a lot of things. But in Thailand, it seems like every kid's doing it. Right? It's just a different scene.
Really, really hard, because for them, I mean, it's a sad reality for the youth of Thailand, because a lot of them, if they're born in rural places, they don't have many options. It's Muay Thai or construction or jobs like this. Like, they live a totally different existence than what we do here in the West, you know?
I was actually training there. Like, did you spar with any of the guys there?
Yeah. So I stayed at a camp called Kiat Fontip in 2020 during COVID, and I got to spar with some Thais and fight. I fought there twice.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I won both. And yeah, it was the first fight I got really hurt. Like, this guy, I thought he broke my ribs, actually.
Was it from a kick?
Multiple kicks. He kicked the shit out of me. He kicked me so much, man. And like, I had my whole body purple on the left side, and I couldn't sleep. But you know, you recover, you heal, and then you get back to it.
That's a fight game for you, though, man. But like, kicks are no joke, bro.
That's
like,
part of the game.
Yeah, 100%. Like, would I rather get kicked or punched? I'd rather get punched all day. Well, depending on the person.
Depends on the punch, depends on the kick.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
Be careful what you wish.
Yeah, because like those kicks, bro, especially teeps. If you've never been teeped properly to like what is this, the solar plex?
Right there, the sternum, right there.
Yeah, bro, you're winded.
Yeah.
Winded. Oh my, it's not fun, man. Not fun, and especially if you get kicked like to the liver too. Man, you get shot down quick. You know?
Lights out, baby.
Right now, just reflecting through everything, I know you mentioned like just have tough skin. Would you do anything differently with like your fight career?
No, I don't have too many regrets. I mean, I wish I would have done some amateur boxing. I wish I would have known about things like the Olympic qualifiers that some guys at Olympus are gonna make a run for, and I really admire that. Like, wow, that you get to represent your country in front of all these nations. Like, I've always thought that was like a cool event, the Olympics. So I regret like not doing amateur boxing and stuff like that a little bit, but no. Other than that, I feel pretty confident where I'm at.
Yeah. Now that we just talked about where you're at, let's talk about where you're gonna be. Like, what's the plan?
I'm gonna keep winning fights. That's the plan. My plan is just win the next fight and then look over my shoulder and who's next. You know. Yeah.
When do you want to fight next for boxing?
Calgary. If Olympus puts on that card, and we can get Dylan on it, Angelo on it, Kent on it. You know, me. I think we would sell at a big venue.
100%.
Kent brings the Filipinos. I bring the Latinos.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a party,
everyone. We're gonna have food trucks.
We eat after. I was just gonna say, I'm more excited about that. Yeah. The fights are exciting, but damn, I'm about to eat.
Yeah, right. We're eating right after, man.
I'm about to.
Are we drinking too, bro? Bring all of it. Yeah, right.
Everything. Yeah. And then Angelo brings the Arabs. So it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
We're there.
We bringing all the cultures together. You know what I'm talking about, right?
See, Calgary, this can happen, man.
This can happen.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, that's what boxing's based around, you know what I mean? Like, you know, from
a world sport. Like, it's a
from Japan to Mexico.
Yeah,
you know,
bro, that's facts, man. Like with the Filipinos, every time Manny Pacquiao fought, bro, there's no crime rate in the Philippines.
Really?
There's no crime.
The criminals are like, oh hell no, man, he's fighting, bro. I'll do that later.
Yeah, bro, and like every time there's a fight, like even in here, like, bro, we're having a party.
Oh, we have a party.
Bro, it's a big ass party. All the aunties, uncles are all just here eating. They never watched boxing in their life, but they watched Manny Pacquiao, right?
That's amazing.
And that's what we want to build this up over here in Canada where everyone can just do that, right? So slowly but surely, by doing things like this, man, right?
I can't wait till that fight night happens. We're gonna be eating, man. We're gonna
Oh, bro,
Gonna be
100%,
eating,
man. It's gonna be a good night. So Jhonson, where can people find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram, Jhonson _the Don.
The Don.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Man.
But I'm trying to be a little bit more like do interviews and social media and stuff like that. I think it's an important part of the game now, undeniably.
No, 100%, and bro, like especially down the line when you start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, the ability to speak clearly is huge.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point.
Because if you can't, like, bro, no one's gonna watch you. You know, like.
What did you think about that fight? I don't know.
I remember winning my first fight at Muay Thai World Cup, and they stick the microphone in your face after you win, and I'm just like, kind of scared, kind of tired, kind of a little bit of everything.
It's like, man, I just thought what you talk about. I don't want to talk right now, bro. I want to go home and eat some pizza, bro. Right?
That food truck in the outside.
There you go.
Yes.
Every time there's fight, there's always a good food truck outside, you know?
Really,
Saying, man, more fights, more food trucks. That's all I can
more
say.
food trucks.
Right.
Well, last question, man, that we asked everyone here. Who should be our next guest? And obviously, once you plug that person, or it can be more than one. It can be like 15 if you want. You gotta hook us up.
You guys got to get Kamani on the podcast.
We're already working on it.
We're already working on Crawford. Okay. I'm trying to think who else is good. Have you had Aaron Wilson?
No.
Ooh.
That guy is interesting, and he's super knowledgeable, right? He comes at the game from a different angle because he went to university. He's an actually like book smart type of guy. So he's an interesting guy to pick.
And not only like in fighting, like also nutrition. That's what I heard. That's from what I just heard. Nutrition and all that. It's a lot of aspects of the game.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Hey, gotta hook us up, baby.
Yeah, man.
I think he loves you guys. So
there you go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We next thing you know, we're gonna learn how to water cut properly, bro.
Man, to see that. That's important.
Vlog that one.
That's important.
Vlog a water cut.
Oh, I don't know if I want to vlog. I'm gonna be like just angry all the time. Speaking of that, have you water cutted before?
Yeah.
How do you feel on it?
Oh, you just. Well, I gotta be careful what I say. You just feel low energy.
Yeah.
You just feel like you've just been up for like 40 hours.
That's just part of it. I don't know more cut. That's why I just cut weight like months before, bro.
That's true. Yeah, just do it that way, right? But no, it's been fun, Jhonson. Again, I appreciate you coming, bro. It's always nice to just pick the brains of fighters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, fighters are they're wired differently. Like joke when it comes
it's
to
crazy because they're also totally different too, like their perspective.
Exactly. Like hearing just different perspectives, hearing everyone's work ethic, every high level athlete, every high level fighter, their work ethic is always the same.
Though.
It's just insane to see, right? Yeah. But if everyone copied how fighters operated and applied it with anything else in life, bro, everyone would be high income earners, bro. Legit.
That's why we're here, man. We're here to spread that message.
Yeah, I think fighters they're good at finding something that works and then not deviating too much from that.
Yeah.
And
that's
I think that's a decent formula,
Yeah, no, 100%. So again, Jhonson, the Don Garzon.
The Don. Thank you so much, man. This is not the first time. This is not the only time.
Thank you guys so much for everything.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to run it back 1 year from now. And until next time, guys, my name is MP.
I'm SB, and we have...
Ooh, it's Jhonson the Don. Thank you so much.
Jhonson the Don.
Boom.
And we out. Bye.
Peace.